Okay, we are on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another High Masterclass, our High Masterclass number 24. Today, we have a special guest with us. He is not new to this Masterclass scene, although he's the first one he is making by himself. He is here, he's André Rodrigues. He is one of our finest front-end developers here at High Interactive. And today, he is here to teach us how to master CSS and SVG interaction. So, hi, Andre, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, back again in masterclass world. So
Yeah, I'm
let's
sure.
do it. I have been away from for a few months,
Yeah,
maybe a year and a half. But yeah, but
I
let's
think
do it.
the last one you made was like a Christmas
A
one.
Christmas, yeah, a
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah, yeah.
special.
Yeah, the
Yes,
snowman one. Yeah, I remember that one. It was kind of fun to do that one.
yeah,
So yeah, let's get into this presentation. Before we start, let me say that André Rodrigues has wrote an article about this. You can check it on the description of this video. It's like a complete guide for this presentation he's about to make.
right.
And yeah, let's go on with the presentation. Leave us a like, share this, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have plenty more contents like this coming your way, and we want you to check them all. So yeah, let's go to the index and talk about what we are going to talk about today. So today we are going to give you a purpose about this masterclass, what value it brings to you on the introduction, the expected results, in which we are going to show you the final product that Andrea is going to assemble at the end, the different SVG shapes that you can get, and what you need to know about creating a spinner, and you will get to know what the spinner is, and it's kind of familiar if you know and if you like know interactive for quite a, like it's the spinner that we have on our website,
Website,
and
yeah,
that's the one we are recreating today. And Andre Rodriguez is also going to make a live demo on this, and at the end we kind of going to do a summary of everything that we spoke
yeah.
about. So Andre, first of all, before you start with your presentation and talk about the spinner, can you tell me, can you give me a little context about why we are doing this masterclass?
Yes, I can. First of all, it's a very cool subject to me. Okay, it's it's an area that um, I really spend a lot of time having fun with this. Yes, some of us have fun with weird stuff, but yeah, I enjoy it a lot. So this is an area where I spend a lot of, well, not spend, use a lot of time and trying to recreate a lot of stuff, animations and the interaction. So it's a cool area to me.
Okay.
And second, because we have a lot of um, developers and colleagues always asking me to do something like this because they want to know more about SVGs and how to use it and how can they do this or do that. So this maybe will be the first of many presentations about SVGs and specific recreating a few parts or a few specific animations and a few interactions that is useful to know. But what a best way to start that creating and recreating a loading spinner, a thing that many of us already used in many applications or websites or wherever. So all of us already use a spinner. Maybe we use a copy paste spinner from the internet. So, but today I will try to teach a little bit more and how can we calculate this sizes and weights and diameters and so on and so on in order to recreate this circular spinner. It's a very simple spinner, but
Yeah.
it's a loading animation. Shouldn't be heavier, shouldn't be um, too much. So it should be simple and with lightweight. So let's go dive.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the presentation. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the expected results? Many of you already saw in our newest website.
Yeah.
We have a very simple, but it's a spinner. As I said, shouldn't be hard to understand what is a spinner. So we really choose a very simple one, and that's it. This is our website spinner where you were entering for the first time. So this is what we are recreating today. I will not talk about all of the stuff in CSS that we have to have in here, like centering the container and creating this circular shape with the shadow and so on and so on. So I will focus specific in how to create this circular animation and what the values we should use and how. And that's where I'm focused today. And I hope you enjoy it. So before we start, I have to do a small recap for what shapes could we use in our SVGs. So many of you already know about all about this, or a few things about this, but we can use these types of shapes. So we can draw rectangles or squares, of course, circles, ellipses. Basically, it's the same, but we have to define the radius, just one radius in the circle, and the ellipses. We have to define the x radius and the epsilon radius. So it's a little bit different. We have lines, straight lines that we have to define the start and ending points, and the polylines where we have to define the coordinates of all edges. The polygon that is almost the same as the polyline, but it always define closed shaped. So polyline and polygon always have to have straight lines. Okay, always. You can't define curved lines with polyline or polygon. To do that, we use path. Maybe it's maybe not. It's the most complicated shape in SVG, but we can create everything with this as this simple cloud in here. So we can create everything with this path. It's very hard. Maybe we can use this as a second masterclass about it's, believe me, for path maybe one masterclass isn't enough. So maybe for next time I will talk about this path and how to use it. It has a lot of properties, so it's kind of hard. Next things. What do we need to know to create this spinner? The things we need to know. As I said, to define our circle, we have to know the radius of our circle. And for this example, I will use 70 pixels. Okay, I will explain later why. But I will use 70 pixels in this example. So to calculate the diameter of our circle, we need to know. To calculate the stroke of our circle, we need to know the diameter around this circle. I will explain later why we need this. Okay, but this is a very simple math formula that we all use in old days when we are young and maybe asked why why do I need this? But yes, we need it in our life, and this is one of the examples where we can use it. Here is an example. As I said, if we choose the radius of 70, and of course pi, it's 3.14 or approximately.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
an infinite number. It
yeah,
doesn't end.
like an yeah. Um, and we can't set the infinite number on CSS. So we choose these two decimal numbers. It's enough. But as you can see in here, if we use 3.14, we get the 439.6. But if we use the real number of pi, we get 439 and dot 8. So plus two decimal in here. So for this example, I will show you this number. Okay, we will set this manually, so we can use the real number to create this animation. So we will use this number a lot in the next steps. So let's go. One more thing to consider: circles. I have two things to say in here. So circles, if we have a circle with 100 pixels radius, we have, of course, 200 pixels diameter um, from one side to the end, to start to the end. So we have 200 pixels circle, right? But if we have, imagine, 10 pixel stroke width, um, this stroke will be split in two, half on the inside and half on the outside. As you can see in here, imagine if we have an SVG with 200 pixels, 200 width, 200 height, okay, and the radius of this circle is 100. So we have a 200 circle pixel, right? But 5 of the 10 pixels of our stroke will be on the outside of the circle, and 5 will be on the inside of the circle. Why do we have to know about this? As you can see in this image, this is what will happen if you have an SVG with 200 pixels and a circle with 200 pixels. So SVG area always crop like a mask our forms, our shapes inside. Okay, bear in mind this. This is very, very important. This is one of the hardest things to get to memorize in SVG, because this brings a lot of headaches, believe me. But SVG works like a mask. Okay, everything that goes outside of this mask will be cropped, and you will not see it. One more thing. SVG default size, if you don't set it at all, it will be 300 width and 150 height. Okay, will be the default size of SVG if we don't set it. That's why we are using 70 pixels radius. Okay, for this example, to turn it in more easy to understand and having having less things to know, if we have 70 pixels radius, we get 140 pixels diameter, right? So it's less than 150, so we don't need to define our SVG size. Let me just drink some water.
Yeah, you need to.
So, sorry. Next thing. So, this spinner, as we can see, we are animating the stroke or the outline, as you can call it. Of course, in SVGs, we call it strokes. In a div container, we say it's a border, but in SVGs, this is a stroke, okay?
Yeah.
So in CSS, we can't define how long are the dashed size of the dashed line. Sorry, again.
Okay, continue.
So in CSS, we can't define the dashed size, but in SVG we can. So we can define the length of the width of each part of our stroke. So our stroke line can be set with very long lines and spaces, or very long lines and small spaces, and so on and so on. I will explain and show you this later. So with this stroke dash array property, we can set our stroke with this very dashed line, or if we have set this 50, we obtain and we'll get a 50 pixels width of stroke of the line part of our stroke, but also this 50 will set the length of all spaces. So if we only set one value, we are setting always two, the line part of the stroke and the space part of the stroke, okay, as you can see in these examples. So if we set it 200 pixels, we are saying that 200 pixels is the space of our space also. Dash offset will set the initial position of the first line part of our stroke. This is very weird to understand, but imagine. Sorry.
It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky, but imagine that we have dashed space, dashed space, dashed space, and so on and so on. Dash offset will set the position of this first line. So this first line will be offsetted, of course, that's the name, offsetted 50 pixels from the initial position. That's in here, right? In this example, we set the dash offset with the same length of our line part. And here is the trick that we will use to animate our stroke around our circle. Okay, so when we are animating this dash offset, we are changing the position of our stroke. I will give you an example. Don't bother. So dash array, as you can see in here, it's the same if we are setting a line, a straight line, or if we are setting a circle. If we have a circle, the circles always start in the right side part of the circle. Okay, the zero position of a circle, it's in here, it's in the right side. We can talk about this, but in math classes you learn this. Believe me.
It was a long time ago, but yeah, I remember.
Yeah, long time ago. A week ago. No, of course not. So the circle initial position, I try to show this just to be easier to understand what is happening in this circle. So imagine that this circle, it's this area in here, okay, that starts here, and the starting point, it's in here. And if we go around the circle, we going on this line till the end. So this point will be around this and reaching the end part of this circle. That exactly the same, of course, as the initial one.
The end point is the same as the initial
point. The end point is the same as the starting point, because this is a circle, of course. So we have a closed shape. So the initial part, it's the end part, right? So try to imagine that we are setting our 439.8 that we calculate with the 2 pi r, right? So we are setting 439.8. It's the length of our line part of the stroke, but also the space part of the stroke. Okay, this is very important because what will happen it's this.
Oh,
So we are animating the line, as you can see, when we are shifting with the offset, as you can see in here, when you are shifting the offset, this starting point and this ending point work, as I said, as a mask. So nothing around this will be shown. So our circle starts here and ends here. And it's exactly what is happening. We are shifting the line with dash offset, and that is what is creating our animation. But as you
okay.
can see, we only reach this 439.8. So we have this animation with a flash in the end because we emptying the stroke, but immediately the frame after we have it fulfilled again. So in order to do that, we have to continue animating the dash offset to the double of the value, to the double
Okay.
value of the dash array value. So 439.8 times 2, we continues animating this, and this go till we reach the ending point that is filled again, as you can see. So it starts filled, and in the end, it will end filled. And we
Okay.
reach the same point, so it's the 0 position. So having the 0 offset or having 2 times, in this case, of course, 439.8, it's exactly the same point. Visually, we're getting exactly the same value, the same visualization. This will be easier to understand when I'm explaining
Yeah.
this.
Demo
Okay,
time.
let's go and
Let's do
creating
it.
this live. So, in order to focus only on our SVG, I of course created a bunch of CSS just to do a small recap on what it's doing. Of course, this is a very simple HTML document with a div with a class splash that is only centering our spinner in the center of the screen. Sorry, so it's very simple. And this circle centering here, I will uncomment this. So this will be our white circle with the shadow, of course, as you can see in here. I will minimize this, and of course our logo. Okay, just to have the same as we have
On our website.
in our website. So I will only focus on our active circle. That is the one that are going and going around and around. So that is exactly this one. Okay, so we can consider only this line. Okay, we are animating only this line for now. Okay,
Sure.
so let's do it. If we save this, we have, as you can see in here, stroke width 4 pixels that we can increase this if we want, of course. But
Okay.
let's say that this is 4 pixels for now. And of course, the color of the stroke. Once more, we are talking about strokes, not borders, like we call it in common divs, okay, or common CSS. Outlines and borders in SVGs are strokes, okay. Stroke width, stroke. We are setting the color of the stroke. This stroke line cap, it's to have the end line. So when we are cropping this, I will show you later. So when we are animating this, the lines can be ended squared or round. So we turn it round just to be cooler, of course, but I will show you later what this is doing. Transform origin 50%. Okay, we are centering this, of course, in the middle of our SVG. I
Yeah.
will show you later why I'm doing this, because we want to create animation to rotate this spinner also, but I will do it later, not now. But I'm just setting this now. And in here are the two values that we are talking about. So dash array, just 1 minute.
Yeah. Take your time. It's not easy. I know it's
Not
not
like
easy.
that.
You're
So,
not used to this masterclass thing.
so 439.8 will be our stroke length. Okay, so we start with 0 and this go around and around 439 pixels. That is what is doing. If I set it in now, if I set 100 pixels, wherever, I'm animating that stroke. Do you recall? We are
Yeah, yeah.
shifting our line. That's why I recreate that straight line in order to understand better. So we are shifting our line to the left in this case. So we are going to from 0 to double of our length.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we are setting this, actually I can show you this round property. I will set this just to be easier. 20 pixels. Sorry, I will set it just 16. That's why now I can show you two things. That's why we are using, of course, a small stroke width. We don't need it. This line, of course, like this.
Of course.
Remember, our SVG has 150 pixels default height. Remember? So
Yeah.
we have 70 pixels radius times 2, 140. And if we have 17 pixels, 140 plus 16, we have 6 pixels, 3 up and 3 down, that is cropped by our SVG wrapper, right?
Yeah.
Don't bother with this now. I just want to show you what this round does. You see, we are getting these straight, ugly lines,
Yeah.
but if we set it this round, we have these cool rounded endpoints, right? So that's what this round does. So as you can see, if we set it at 100, this go around and around. Let me just set these 4 pixels again,
Okay.
not to be cropped. And so on and so on. If we are setting 300 and this going around and around and going, right? So this is what we have to, this is what we need to create our animation. And I already set this, of course, these keyframes to us in order, because we need to have an infinite animation. So we need to create keyframe animation. We can't do infinite animation with a common transition animation in CSS. So we need to use keyframes. And what we need to do is, as I said, set the dash offset, the initial position of our offset will be 0 pixels, of course. That is the same that we have here, right? It starts filled. And our animation will end when we are doubling it, the value of our perimeter. Remember, we have to double it to create a smooth animation and
Yeah,
end
so
exactly
it
in the
will,
same point that we
yeah,
have in the beginning.
it starts filled, right? And
Start fill will be empty, and then we'll fill in again
it
till
goes
reach the
filled up
same point as
again.
the initial one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. As if I uncomment this, and we should always live presentations, right?
Yeah.
What is missing in here? It should be this. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot that calculations, calcs in CSS always need a measure unit. Okay, that's why you need pixels. Sorry.
Yeah. You use pixels for it.
For SVG dash array and dash offset, we don't need this. If I set this 0, it will work anyway. But for calc, we have to use at least pixels or rams or EMs or whatever. Okay. So now we have our animation. Almost. Of course, we need to, as you check in our website or in this presentation, we are rotating um, our spinner also. So this is not static. So why not have rotate? And I will explain why I'm using 720 rotate 0 degrees. Save it. I am doing this.
Oh, and
Why I'm not starting with this on 0? Actually, I will show to you what is happening. What we did is we are rotating in the other way around of our transition. This is very hard to understand, okay? It was hard for me too. So we are rotating at the same time for the other side. So this is very hard to understand. So because we are rotating at the same time, in the same moment, actually what we did was invert our animation, as you can see. So if I remove this, we have anti-clockwise rotation.
yeah,
And if I set this like this, we have clockwise rotation.
clockwise.
So this is one way to do it if you want to have a clockwise rotation. So, but let's just have our like we have in our website. So we are rotating anti-clockwise, but
Yeah.
also filling and emptying anti-clockwise also. So sky is the limit. Okay, you can create everything you want. We can say that. Let me double it. 100, 1040. Sorry. 740, 40. Sorry. We can rotate and double speed. We can double it, right? This is very.
Yeah, you change the pace of it.
Yeah, this is very speedy. No, but we don't want that. We just have to recreate the same as we have in our website. So that's it, guys. Okay, this is a very simple example of usage of SVG animations and SVG interactions. In this case, of course, we are only talk about this stroke dash offset and dash array, but with this you can recreate a lot of stuff. Okay, actually I can show you Jean, I can show you an example in our website where we use also this dash array.
Sure.
Let me just
Let's go to our website.
in our website we also have a cool animation. This is an SVG, okay, guys? We are interacting with these circles that it's actually a component made by me. Sorry. This. Um, so we have this interaction that is filling in, emptying these lines, and when we click it, it will emptying the other one and selecting this one. So this was created all with calculations, of course, with JavaScript, of course, but always calculated according with the size of our circle. So this is dynamic. A lot of course, this I spend a lot of time in this, but we can create cool stuff with SVGs and this dash array and dash offset animations. So back in our presentation, and
I think we are almost done, right? Let's just sum this up.
35 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wait, sorry. So, João, do you want to say something? I can say it.
You go for it.
What we can conclude with this, we learned a few SVG properties. I hope soon I can create one more masterclass to explain another part of SVG world. We learned how to calculate this stroke length and how to use it, how to manage it. And as you can SVG, the sky is the limit. Okay, you can recreate, you can create a lot of cool stuff, and that's it, guys. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, and yeah, Andre, I didn't know it was like an infinite world of possibilities using like SVG. I really didn't know, and this masterclass kind of surprised me in that way, because like
Cool.
I took part in the building of the website, but this is like that backstage story that you are now knowing about, and that for me it's amazing me. So thanks for enlightening me, and of course all of the ones that are watching this at home. So thanks for that. And if you now I'm speaking for the ones at home, if you have any kind of question that you want to ask me or ask Andre about this presentation, you can always drop us a comment, and we are going to answer to it right away, or when we have the time to do it. But don't worry, it will not be forgot. So thanks, Andre. Hopefully we get to make another masterclass soon, as you are saying, because I like your presentation and I like the vibe that you bring to the high masterclass scene.
Thank you.
So take care, everyone at home. Enjoy this masterclass and stay tuned for another ones to come. So take care, and
see you guys.
Next one.
Thank you.